Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone from wherever you are joining the call from today. Please confirm you can hear me clearly. Let me know you can hear me clearly at the comment section. Confirm, confirm. Yes. Okay. Good, 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 good. Good evening, Jolade. Good evening. Okay. Just a moment. Okay. Okay, good. How many of us are excited to be back in the class again? How many of us are excited to be back in the class? Right, I'm excited, excited, excited. Let me see. Yes, you can hear me clearly, loud and clear. Thank you. All right, let me know if you're excited to be back in the class, right? How many of us so much anticipated this particular moment? I was really, really waiting, expectant, couldn't wait at some point. Good evening, Salami Messi. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. It's good to be back, but I'm owing a lot of classes. Hey, God will help you. It's better you pay your debt of classes that you owe. Make sure you pay them as soon as possible, right? All right, can't wait. I like that. Expecting so much. Okay, I'd like to also ask, how's the experience been, right, from Excel to SQL, and now to, of course, to your portfolio building and to um, Power BI. So how's it been so far? How's it been so far? I'm good. Patience, Joseph. Thank you for asking. I'm good, 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 good. It's been great. Okay. Awesome. Except because you didn't pay, maybe because you didn't pay attention. The experience has been fantastic. Or you don't love SQL. Maybe that's why. Insightful. Okay. Challenging, and I'm ready to face it. I like that, Mustafa Fatima. I like when people are really, really confronting and facing their challenging. I don't have a laptop yet to practice with. Wow. And how have you been doing it? How have you been doing it? Fantastic, but finding data is challenging. Do you mean data for subscription or data to work with, right? Now I expect that you talk like a data person. You don't just talk like anyone out there that will just say data. Let me make you guys laugh. All right. So I was in one of the class section, and then I asked my student that how many of us have an idea about what data is used for, right? And then what do you think data is? What do you think data is? And then you want to know what I had in that class that day. What I had was that one of my students just got up and said, interestingly, he knows what data is there, but then is it not just 2 gig, 5 gig that they sell, and is just here to learn how to sell data? Wow, I just got a laptop. I'm starting with pivot table. I wish you all the best. You can still catch up. So he just got to learn. He just came to learn, and then it was very funny. Like I really could not laugh, but then I know he could. He could. The person could just be very, very serious, right? Just came to learn how to sell data, so that after the class, he said, it's been amazing. Okay, yes, 2 gig, 2 gig, 5 gig, and then that's it. But then the same person left the class, a changed person. So I know that quite a number of us, if I should ask people in this class, maybe before now, we'll still have one or two persons that will also think the same way. Just that people are trying to form big boys, big girls now, right? Just because we have an understanding of what it looks like already. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. So I think it's a good time for us to start. So we have waited enough for people to join. All right. So at the last class, we were able to do some things, and maybe I should see at the comment section what were those take home that you had, What have you done since the last time? Salami Messi, 1 in 10 with me. Okay, send me a message on Telegram. So, like I mentioned, the proof to even if you want to intend or do whatever is what you can do, not word of mouth, right? So it could just be your portfolio that will do the justification, permit me, and then that will be all. And I mean it. As a matter of fact, as we speak, we have quite a number of people intending currently with Incubator Hub, and then they've been doing excellently well. So please ensure you go over the class again if you have any backlogs. Yes. All right, let's go. How to create table, then transformation of data. Yes, how to create table, transform and load the data. Okay, how to enter data. I appreciate we start Power BI all over again just because of you, right? It's fine. I'm improving that already. So the more we delayed on all of this, the lesser time we have. I hope you're also counting down that. Okay, let me say, in case you don't know, your project document is ready, and then it will be shared hopefully by the end of this weekend. Your project document is ready, and then it will be shared at the end of this week. So once you receive the document, it's a progressive work. What you just need to start working on gradually, and then by the time you are done, or as we are entering different phases in this Power BI, you are applying them in on your project. So that will also help people who will be qualified for mentorship. All right. So I have seen all of that we put up. So I think it's a good time for me to also share my screen, and then let's go. Okay. All right. So let's put it up now. Yes, please help me. Okay, good. So now a very quick one. I think I should just close my application and launch it again so that you can see what it looks like starting from scratch. Now see, so I come to my start button, click on my Power BI, and then allow it to load. Now I realize that it's so easy to learn. I'm excited. I like that. Thank you so much, Kemi Yusuf. Right. So I realized that so many people saw this, or I explained it the last time, but then maybe so many people did not understand what it means. Now, I remember the last time I spoke to us about this opening interface, that when you come across this, what does it mean? And I said that some of you, if what interface you are seeing is yellow, just know that you are working with an obsolete Power BI desktop. And if currently you do not have anything here, it only shows that you have not done anything in a while. So as much as you start working, you will discover that here you start seeing your recent works. So, and here also is just the interface. If you have an account, it will ask you to log in so that you can do another thing, but then you might not really need to do anything. So since we started last week with having our data somewhere, so we can just pull this down, just close it, and then you can come back to your interface. You remember this interface that we were last week, right? Okay, so now let me just come back to this place, and then I can pull out all the data. So that means it's saying that I do not have any data open. But you remember I have a saved project last week, right? You remember I have a saved project at the last class. So that saved project is where I'm going to now. I'll go to my file, then I'll go to my what? Later class work. Since I started a work with it already. So let's open it up again, and then now we are back to where we ended the class at the last section. Are you guys together? Okay, Joan David. I'm having issues closing and applying changes in my data. It's giving me pending changes error. Pending changes error. This is important. Did you just notice this? Because I really need to understand why it's giving you that error. So do you have any, can you check now? Let me show you something. Look at this my Power BI. When I hover on it, you see that it's showing just one window, right? Check it. Do you have just one window or you have more than one window? If you have more than one window, you might need to close the other one and then do your close and apply again. Do you get that? You might need to close it if you have more than one window. Nobody's responding to your message on Telegram. Your Power BI is not installing. I don't know what to do. I personally dropped a message on the Telegram, maybe 2 hours to the class to respond to as many issues that people are having. I don't know, maybe you were not available at that time, but then as much as we see, we will respond to all those messages. Okay, as much as we see, we will respond to those messages. Okay. Just a moment. All right. So, okay, I should recap how to get our last work. Now, what I just did was just come to your file, open report. When you say open your report, now you see your recent report here. You see based on the number of time or the last time you visited. So I have up to 1 year report on this my system. So it depends. So this is what 1 minute ago. So you can click on whatever you saved the report with. As long as you saved your work at the last class, just click it and then it takes you back to this your report. Now, if you look at this corner, you see the tables that we have there, right? See your table, and all your table is what you will use for your report. All your table is what we're going to use for the report. Okay, I have just one window open, so please, is it possible that like one-on-one interaction so I can explain what is happening properly? Sorry for the distraction. It's fine. So maybe after now we can just you can reach out on the WhatsApp, Telegram. I think that will be better, or you can just talk to either of the TA. They can do well to probably link us up if that need be. All right. Okay, can you specify which of the files we are working with? Can you just calm down and then follow as we take it step by step? Okay, please, step by step. All right, so let's also respect that there are some other persons learning at a lower pace. Okay, so now we have 3 data here that we have uploaded. Some of you might have 2. All right, and now if you click on liter class data and you come to this your data view, you see your data view here. If you click your data view, you will see your data the exact way it is. Did you see that? You see your data the exact way it is. You see your data the exact way it is. All right. So if you want to do that, all you just need to do is click on the table on the top right here. If I want to change from this table to another table, I'll just click on that particular table. Here is another table. All right. Your tables are not together. Can I edit the tables? I guess I didn't input some data before uploading it. Okay. All right. I'm coming. So you see table 2 as well. So once you have uploaded your table, you can go back to your edit query. Go back to edit query. I hope that person is following. When you click, go back to edit query. Just a moment. This thing is running between windows. Go back to what? Your edit queries. Now, here you have your edit query. Now, if you have your work uploaded already, you cannot edit it. If you have your work uploaded, after typing liter class data, I actually don't understand the reason why after typing liter class project. Can I please recap? Did you watch the last video? So for people who are asking questions from the last class, I expect that you have done some justice, at least by watching the class videos. We don't have all of that time. As much as I would love to, if we continue to do that, we won't be able to do anything today. If I should go back from last class and then continue today, we will not, we are already behind schedule by our time. We are already behind schedule. If you say my screen is blurred, what do you mean? Okay, I am trying to see if I can increase. Hmm, just a moment. Just a moment. I hope I'm able to. Okay. Now, zooming my screen, we only zoom the canvas point and not my screen interface. I don't know whether you understand. Zooming my screen, we only increase the size of my canvas, which is this center point, and not this entire interface. So I have tried to zoom, but then what I'm still having does not affect my other interface. So like I'm trying to check again to be sure. You see my data now is still as it is. All right. So can you please help recap how you open this file? Like you said, go to the data view, but I didn't get it, sir. Okay, have you opened from the last time that we stopped the class? If you have opened and you can see your data here, if you can see your data here, just come to your data view on this left pane, click on it, and then you will see, your data. Now, you remember I spoke about these three panes yesterday, the last class, and then peradventure you have four. Not to worry. I said this first one is for a report, and this is where you build your report, right? And this one is for your data view, and this last one is for your relationship. Now, notice what happened. Did you notice what happened here now? What did you notice here? How many tables can you see on my screen now? Oh, thank you, Esther. My screen is fine and not blurry. So please, you might just need to increase the resolution of your screen. Okay, three. So do you know why we have these three tables? We have these three tables because on our data upload, we have three tables there. And you notice that there is no relationship between any of these three tables. Why? Because nothing apparently is connecting the two tables together. However, we can manually create a model relationship. Manually, we can, but we have not gotten to that point now, so that people don't start saying that what are we doing? So let's take it one step at a time. Now, I told us the last class that anytime you probably have your car and then you just suddenly realize the car developed a fault, what are you supposed to do? Please, it's only sheet one I am saying on my pane after I uploaded the data set. Okay, so if you have just sheet one, did you do data entry the last class we did, and did you save it? And then the table two that we did was a copy and paste table. So it's not a function, even if it's just one you have, just pay attention. All right. Yes, take it for repairs. And I said, how do you take your data for repairs? Anytime you want to repair your data, how do you do that? So where is our mechanic shop here? Go to transform data. Thank you. So for this particular data now, if you need to transform it, did you see where my transform data is here? So I'm hovering on it so that you can see clearly for those that are saying that maybe my screen is a little bit small or whatever. So now, all this transform data is where we want to start our work. So please take note. Transforming of data is where we want to see whatever manipulation, I've explained the last time, whatever manipulation we want to do, whatever transformation we want to do happens here. And here I'm going to be showing you some of the things you can actually do here, even before we practicalize them. Some of them we're going to be showing us with data. Some of them you will get to probably use them as you learn on the job, right? We do as much as possible to cover as much as we can, but then the ones we cannot, we will ensure that you learn it, of course, along the line. Now look at this. There are a few buttons here, even from our menus. The first menu we see is file. We have been able to see what we can do with your file. Now we are on home. Here in home, you can see your enter data. You remember, this is where we started the last class, where you enter your data manually, right? Where you are able to put all of this. This was the table we created manually with data entry, right? Last class. So this is what we did. Okay, so now what other thing can you now do here? If you move a little bit further, you see your choose column. Choose column. So if you want to choose a column, there are two ways by which you can actually choose your column. And how can you choose your column? If you click on this choose column, it will choose column. If you click on it, it will list out all of your columns. All of your columns. So if you have all of your columns listed out like this, if you need to select any of the column, just like I am selecting my name currently, if you need to select any, tick out, then you tick out everything, and then all you want is just gender. You want to select only gender, then you click on OK, and then you see that only gender has been what? Selected. Did you get that? Which data set are we working with? Is it the one we, yes, the one we manually entered at the last class. That's liter class data. That's what we are. So let me come again. Someone said that should come again. Now to come to your choose column now. Choose column. If you select your choose column, and then you see all of this, if you select all here, all your columns will be selected. But if only what you need is just a few columns. I'm coming again already. If all you need is just a few columns, all you just need to do is highlight the columns you need. Let's say, for instance, I need just name, email address, gender, and then the country. I don't need the age range, I don't need the year of birth, and I don't need the marital status. Then I click my OK, and then I see only those data. Elizabeth, if you can't find your table, did you save it at the last class? If you save it at the last class, you might need to look for the name you save it with. All right. If you cannot choose column, why can't you choose column? Did you select any of the query you are working with? Can you see my query here? You should have at least one table here. You should have at least one table here. And then once you have that, your one table, you should be able to choose your column. I take it for the last time. I've done it 2 times. I'm taking it for the last time. All right. You come here, choose column, and then you come to your choose your column, and then if you select all here, or you deselect all, that means you have not chosen anything. If you click OK, we will not have anything because I have deselected all my columns. But then I have to come back because I want to have access to my columns. I'm supposed to have them. Maybe I want to see just name and marital status. Then I select the two, then I click OK, and then I have just name and marital status. If you saved it and then it's not coming forth, it's either you didn't save properly or you are saving from the wrong source. Your choose column is under your home menus. Under your home menu. Did you see all your menus? Home, transform, add column, view tools, and help. Under the home is where your choose column is. After you have done with the data entry, this is all this first part here is for you to enter your data. So we are here now managing columns. How to manage your columns. Exactly. I like that, Precious. You are so smart enough to know that it works just like Slicer. So just that you want to what? Slice. Please, sir, can I use Power BI to prepare a financial report? Obviously. This is what you use in all how do I put it now? 100%, 101% safe to prepare your financial report. So at the end of this training, I know some of us who work in different folks of life will be able to bring a real life analysis to what you are doing, and then you are able to add that to whatever your job description is at what you do. Okay, so if you don't see choose column, click on manage columns and then you will see choose column. Okay, so for those that are saying they don't see the choose column, see the manage column. All right, so that's why I said for some of us that upgraded our this thing at the last class, you will have all of these things open. My column didn't change to name, email address, gender. Please, what do I do? Your column didn't change to name. It depends on what you select. It depends on what you select. Your colon does not have to change. It will only change based on whatever you select. So let me come back here and then pick all of my data so that I have everything back. Now I have all of my data back now. Are we together now? Does that make sense? All right. So please just pay attention. So now also here you can just go to colon. You can do a go to colon. Go to colon means that which colon do you want to work with exactly? Just click on gender and then it highlights the colon you want to work with. And this is only applicable in the case where you are working with quite a large number of data and then you have so many columns. So if you have so many columns and you are trying to look for a particular column, you can just easily come here and then do what? Go to column. And then let me go and click the last column. Maybe that is what you need to see, marital status, and then you click it. So that is what? Go to column. All right. So the next thing we want to do there is what? The next one is remove columns. Now, please pay careful attention so that you don't make mistake. It makes sense, right? Thank you. I like that. All right. Now, look at it. So the next one we want to look at is what? Remove columns. What does it mean to remove column? If you click on the drop down beside your remove columns, there are two things you can do here. You can either remove columns or remove other columns. Try and understand the grammar. You can either remove columns or remove other columns. When you say remove columns, so what you are saying is whatever column you have selected at that point in time will be deleted. It will be what? Deleted. Please pay careful attention to this. If you say remove column, whatever column you highlighted, if anybody can see my screen very well, what column am I currently highlighting? What column am I currently highlighting? What columns am I currently highlighting? Anybody? Marital status. Thank you. So marital status is currently being highlighted. If I come here and I do what? Remove colon. What I will remove is what? Marital status. So let me click it so that you see what does happen. Can you notice now? Did you see that? Did you see that now? Marital status has been what? Deleted from the table. And now, when did you need to use this? There are times when you just have data, your data will just be so messed up. Some data are just empty, nothing is there on the colon, and then you really do not need it for anything. So what you need to do is just remove the colon and then so that you can have a clean data. But listen, I have done what? Remove colon. Just immediately after it is what? Remove other colons. If what I did, or if I click on remove other colons, what do you think will happen? Let me tell you because of my time. What will happen is this. The column you are selecting will only be isolated. Every other column will be deleted. The column you have selected alone will be what? Left alone. Every other column will be deleted. Now, I know I was expecting that question. Does Ctrl Z works on Power BI? The answer is no. But then just pay attention. I will tell you what to do if you mistakenly carry out okay, how can we undo the remove column? Okay, I see. I didn't even see that on time. All right, so how can you undo it? Just pay careful attention. Other columns will be deleted except the column that you have selected. Thank you. Samaluko, thank you. All right, now, why is it the date? Why is the date in the date of birth column aligned right? You mean the year of birth? Okay, I need someone at the comment section to also answer that question, because this same thing was actually taught while you are treating Excel, Microsoft Excel. If you have been in this class, you will understand why. Actually, if you have been in this class, you will understand. Why do you think, Edina is asking, why do you think date is numeric? Victoria has answered you already. Date is numeric, and then any of your data that is what? Numeric will be to the right. If your data is alphabetical or text, it will be to the left. Does that make sense now? All right. So that is why you have it to the right. Now, like I said, removing colons or choose. Now, let's assume what I did the other time was a mistake, that I did not intend to remove that column that I did. So what do I do? Why you are not able to probably do a Control Z like you will easily do somewhere in your, what's it called now, Microsoft Excel or other application. What you need to do is look at the extreme right here where you have your applied steps. Can you see this extreme right where you have your applied steps? So what happens here is that at every step you are taking when you are cleaning and transforming your data is recorded here. Let me take it again. Every step you are working with, you are taking, and then you have approved is being recorded at the applied step. Say, for instance, the last applied step I did was what? Is to remove columns. Then I said remove other columns. So if I did that by mistake, just come in front of you, you see something like a cancel sign. Just cancel the step, and then you see that it comes back again. Did you see that? Just cancel the step, and then you see that your steps will be restored. There is no manage colon on mine. Are you on transform data page? Are you on transform data page? If you are not, that means you won't see it. All right. Okay. If you are saying no, choose or manage columns on yours, I have answered you again. Have you transformed your data? Have you taken your data to the mechanic workshop? I think maybe that I should be using that for now. All right. Power BI is giving us maturity level, right? I like that. All right. If you say so. So you need to understand. Now, let me tell you something. This is one thing you need to actually understand about Power BI is you do more of clicking, actually. It is soft work. You do more of what? Clicking is a soft work. There's something we call low code application. And I think I've explained here that Power BI is one of those applications that also want to obey the low code or no code. Of course, there are a few ways by which you still put one or two codes anyway. You still put what? Low code. Is it using a Power BI app or what? Are you referring to me or what? Or which other application? All right, let's continue. So that is that about what? Retracing your steps. If you have made any mistake, you can easily retrace that step here. Now, let's move to the next one. The next one is talking about what? Keeping your rows and then removing your rows. The same way we have applied it in what? Columns. Now, which one is your row? This is your row, right? Your row is where you have your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and all of that, right? So if you come to keep rows, let's say, for instance, you have some of your rows just littered without data or enough data that you need. For instance, let's say that some of the data we have here is not okay. Maybe I can just do something now. Okay. All right. Now, I think I will just do something and just show us something very quickly. So let me see. I hope time will not be against us. There's so much to learn, but then I just hope time will allow us. Now, what we can do is this. I will go to my, so since let's assume I'm done here, I'm still coming back to this place. I'll just come to what? Close and apply. Whatever I'm doing and I'm done with it, I close and apply, right? Okay. So let me come to enter data again. Let me come to enter data. Well, before I come to enter data, I need to copy some data here. Let me go to enter data. Enter data will allow me to create a new table. You remember, right? You remember that's what that would do for me. So I now want to create the same, just like what I had in the previous table. So I have to be fast here. I will just be fast here in case. I'm sure everybody here should understand what this looks like already, right? Name, email address, gender, country, age range, which other thing now? Year of birth and marital status. Year of birth. Then the last one is what? Marital status. Okay. So now, okay, let me remove this one. I don't need this last one. Okay, let me even leave it like that. Let me even leave it so that you see some of the application of what I'm saying. So let's now say that here I have an empty data and I move to column 2. All right. And then I put someone's name here. I put favor. Then let me try and put this favor. Let me try and work with this at later.org. Right. Gender is a female. Right. Then country is Nigeria. The age range is 16 to 18. Do you have 16 to 18 or 15 to 18? 16 to 18, yeah. The year is what? 2000, right? And the marital status single. And then that's all. So let me just duplicate this. Control C, Control V, Control V, Control V. So let me just change favor to Nwoye, right? So this one will be what? Nwoye. This one will be what? And let's change this one to 19 to 21, right? This one will be 2021. And this one was, let's assume is married, right? And then let's go to, this one will be another name. Let's say Kemi Sola. Kemi Sola, right? Let's say Kemi Sola. I'm doing this to actually explain the particular concept, which I really do not plan for, but then I just remember it to make so many people understand it better. So that's why I'm trying to do this. So let's assume this is a Linda, and then I have this as a Linda at later.org, and then let's say Linda is married, and then let's say Linda is let me look for a particular range here, 28 to 30. 28 to 30. Now, okay, so let me now create the last one here so that I can leave Control C, Control V. So I can now say, let's say I now have 1, 2, 3. Now, let's say this is my table now, and I am done typing. Are you guys following me? Let's say this is my table. So let me give this table name. Let's say table, I think I have table 1 already, table 2 already. Let's say liter table 2, right? Liter table 2. And then we have renamed this. There's no need to really edit it. Let's just load it since all our data is correct, right? Let's see what happens here. Let's see what happens. Okay. So you see that it's been what? It's been loaded, it's been loaded, it's been loaded, it's been 7 data loaded. Now, if I come to this, my right hand side here, I will see liter table 2. Can you see it? If I click on it, it comes up. Now, did you notice something here? What you notice here is that there are about two spaces that are empty in my column, or in my row rather. There are about two spaces that are what? That are empty. So now, one of the things that maybe we will do at the later part of the class, not that maybe what we will do at the later part of the class, but might come very early this time, is if you notice that table, is it table 2 now? Liter class data and liter table 2, they have the same schema, right? You remember schema now, like a table structure, right? Yes, there are spaces in between. Now, you will see my screen has not gone blurry. I've not done anything to my screen. So you should check, maybe your network is going somehow, right? My screen is not, my screen has not changed actually. So now, if you notice, my liter class data and liter table 2 is having something related when it comes to their data, right? So now we can actually combine these two data and clean them one after the other. We might not be doing that now. That is combining them together. But if you notice something, based on what we were doing at the other time, let's go back and then let's upload this data. Since we have uploaded it, right, let's take it back to what? Our mechanic workshop, because we realize there are some missing stuffs there. So I'll click on my liter table 2 so that I can see it very well. Now, if you look at it, if you are checking just the way I'm checking right now, under my email address, I have some of my email address not complete. So some values are missing. The same thing with gender. Apparently, what it shows, if you follow carefully, is that we have empty rows. What it shows is that you can copy and paste from the other table as well. Just do it. What I'm doing is just for you to see what it looks like. All right. So now, please pay attention. There are things I think you guys need to pay attention to rather than getting distracted. If you click on any of your icon, on any of your column here, did you notice a particular color tone where you see something like green and then later you see black, green and then later you see black, green and then later you see black? If you notice, that happens for all of your data, right? Interestingly, look at this last column is actually empty. Did you see this? Now, what do you think we will do to solve this problem? The first thing, based on what I taught us the other time, just click on this, come to your choose colon, and then just remove colon rather, and then remove colon. Don't do remove other colons. What you just need to do is remove colon, and then that colon is gone. This is what we call data cleaning. This is what we call data cleaning, right? You also notice that your what's it called now? Row 1 and row 6 is empty, and year of birth is showing a null value, and then it's also showing a null value here. What can you do? You can as well remove rows. When you just click on it, you can come to your remove rows, and then it's asking you what row did you want to remove. The first one says remove top rows. If you say remove top rows, what it will ask you is let's take it one after the other very quickly. I am trying to rush now. Number of rows do you want to? So how many rows rather do you want to remove from the top? If you say you want to remove 4 rows from the top, it will remove the first 4. But here, let's say I want to remove just 1, the first row, and then I click OK. You see what happened? Do you notice what happened now? Only the first row has been removed. Let's say that was done by mistake. Let me restore it, and then let me see what other option that I have. Remove bottom rows. If I want to remove from the bottom, let's say I have maybe some bottom rows that I want to remove. You can also remove from bottom. Remove alternate rows. Now, what does it mean to remove alternate rows? You can actually do alternate rows for, say, first row to remove, number of rows to remove, and then number of rows to keep. So what this means is that the first row, where is the first row you want to consider? What if we have 300 rows and row 62 is empty? How do we do that? Thank you for asking. So that is why you can specify by index the number of row where you want to remove. You can actually also specify by index. All right. So number of rows to remove. How many rows do you want to remove? First row to remove, 62. For that person that is asking now, you put 62. How many rows do you want to remove? One. And the number of rows to keep. You are keeping the remaining from the total number of data, right? That is how to work with alternate rows. Okay, let's do something for instance here. First row to remove, one. Number of rows to remove, one. And number of rows to keep, 6. Let's click OK. Did you see what happened? Did you see what happened now? So I've just removed just one out of those rows. I didn't see how you restore. If you have to restore, come to your apply step. Maybe you join this class later, Regina. Come to your apply steps and then you restore your step. So let me do that again. Let me do that alternate rows again. Remove alternate rows. And say, let's say 1, 6. So then let's say 1, and then number of rows to keep, 6. Because we have 7 data there, right? And that row 1 is gone now. If you can come here again, remove rows, alternate rows. One number, first row to remove now is what? Row 5. How many? 1. And then number of rows to keep. Let's keep the remaining 5. And then let's click OK. Did you see what happened now? Done. What I did was to come to my applied step here. Come to your apply step, and then you will see a cross, a cancel sign here by the first part. Just click on the cancel sign, and then it takes back your step. Are we following, guys? Are we following, guys? So that's how to, if you observe carefully now, my data has now been cleaned. My data has now been cleaned. Okay? So that is the way it is. For people that are still saying that my data or my screen is not bold, maybe you guys are joining this class late. I have zoomed, and then that is the interface of the BI. The only place that can be zoomed on this application we are using is the Canvas stage, which we are not there yet. So I've tried to zoom, and then it's still leaving it at the way it is. So please just pay attention as we go. I hope that is well understood. Okay? Just a moment. All right. You can delete multiple empty rows at a time, actually. Just specify the row names and their number. Just specify the row numbers. Just specify the row numbers. Okay. Once you specify the row numbers, I'm surprised. Is it using a Power BI app or tool? I don't understand what that question means. I don't understand what that question means anyway. So I think I should just continue with what I'm doing. Okay, so now you see that we have been able to clean this data, and then this data is clean. At a later time, we'll still show you what we can do with this. So now let's move on. We have worked with remove rows. You can see some other thing, remove blank rows. So okay, let me do something so that you can see. Let me take my steps back, 1 and 2. All right, you see that those steps are back now. If you come here now to what? Remove rows, and then you see what? Remove blank rows. If you click on remove blank rows, it automatically takes away all the rows that are empty. You understand? It automatically takes away, for those that are asking, it automatically takes away all the rows that are empty. right? Can you also insert columns and rows? So you can also do that. But for you to achieve that, that is another aspect of BI that we will get to in the later time. That is analysis functions. You know, I told you about DAX function. So when you get to DAX functions, that is when you will be able to do that. All right. If you want to add row, look at the next column. You see add column. You see add column, whatever column you want to add, and all of that. That is when you'll be able to do that. Okay. Please just follow. Don't worry, you will enjoy this. You will enjoy it. Only that if people will allow us to go far because of questions, because as much as I want to take my eyes off, when I begin to see too many of them, I want to also do respond. Now it's just about 1 hour already, and then we have not done anything. Like we have not done anything, I can assure you, we have not done anything. Okay, so let's move on now. So that is that on keeping rows. Now look at this. The next one is sorting. Sorting in ascending or descending order. You can also sort. So we don't have values here. If we have values here, it will be easy for us to probably just sort. So if we want to sort this now, it will just use it. It's just the same way you will sort your normal Excel. So you can just click on sort in descending order or sort in ascending order, and then you will have it just the way it is. Can you see now? I've sort in the descending order, and then you can sort in ascending order. So I can also remove the step, sort rows. I've removed the steps. So that's that. Now the next one is splitting of columns. Splitting of columns. What does splitting of columns means? You know, when you have a column, probably you want to get a value. Let's say, for instance, this name column is missing, but we have the email address, right? We have the email address, and the name column is missing. How can we, or what can we do to get a name for everybody? What we can do here is what? To split this email address. When you click on the email address, and then you come to split column. When you click on it, it will ask you by what? By delimiter, by number of characters, by position, by lowercase, by uppercase, by whatever way. Just take it one after the other, you will understand. So for the sake of this class, let's do by delimiter. If I click by delimiter, I will have a pop-up come up. All right? At S, the comma can't work on alternate rows. Yes, comma can't work on alternate rows, actually. All right? So now he's saying by default, I have noticed something consistent in all of your delimiters, and that is arts. So since art is what consistent all through, I will just say what? Split at leftmost delimiter, split at rightmost, or each occurrence. So anywhere you are seeing the art, which is my delimiter, just split at that condition. If I say split at left, so that means the first place is seeing it from the left. If I say split at right, the first place is seeing it from the right. Do you understand? Do you also know that I can actually split with another delimiter, which is what? Dot. Because dot is also consistent all through here. And I can now say split at right from the first place where you see what? You see the dot. But I'm using the, what's called art for now. And then I can click OK. Let's see what happens. Now, did you see what happens now? If you are also doing it the same way I'm doing it, you will discover that now I have two columns here, and one is just for what name. I can now rename this column. I'm still coming back to this renaming thing, right? And I have two columns. One is what? This. So you can actually duplicate a column and then you rename so that you can still keep that same column. So now you can now do whatever you want to do for this column. Probably you can, you remember how you do your proper case, right? That's an assignment for you. Don't worry, when we get there, we'll do that. All right. So proper case. You can change this. So we have done this, and then we have splitted this into what? Two columns. That's splitting. All right. So we also have a using of column as first rows as header, the merging of queries, and then appending of queries. We'll do all of this very, very soon. Right. So next thing I want you guys to see is here. Here is what? When you see this first column that is name, there's something very important that you must pay attention. You don't want to miss out on this, because by the time you start your analysis, this can actually decide or determine whether you will have a good report or not. In front of this A, can you see something that looks like ABC there? Something that looks like ABC. That is telling you your data type. That is telling you your what? Your data type. And how do you know your data type? You know your data type by the kind of what you have in your data. Here, it is expected that my name will be a text character, right? And then I have my text character as, so that means this data type is correct, right? So you can now, so for anything you are doing, please, ladies in tech, hear me well. For whatever data you are doing, when you come to your transform data, check to be sure all your data types are correct. I say that again. Whatever you are doing as an analyst, ladies in tech, anytime you get to your transform data, which is your first state of checking your data, always check all your data types. Now, if you check this one is what? In text, in text, in text, in text, in text. Look at this year of birth. What did you notice in the year of birth? It shows 1, 2, 3, right? So which means the data type there is what? Is numbers or integers. So how can you change, in case you need to change your data type? Just click on that ABC and then you see this drop down. Did you see that? Just click on that ABC and then you see this drop down. From this drop down, you have all the data types that you can need. You have all the data types that you can. If your data type is a date format, you want to change it to percentage, whatever you want to do, you have it done, or you can have it done here. Let me remove my split column so that I don't forget. I still want my data to be intact. Okay? So that's that about what you're renaming. And also you can actually right click on the column and then do some other functions or carry out some other operations. You can remove the column, you can remove other columns. You see the shortcut to some of those things I explained earlier. You can do a duplicate column. You remember that time when I was saying that in case you want to first keep this email address, you can first do a duplicate column, right? So you see that email address is here now, right? You can move it down, back. You have moved it back. Now you can now do whatever you want to do with this. Maybe you now want to split this one by delimiter, right? For you to move it is just click and drag. If you need to do that, just click and drag. That's it. And then you can reorder. If you right click, actually, you can also reorder. Okay? So there are quite a number of things you can do here. Some of these things I've actually explained them. You can rename your column, actually. You can rename your column. Let's rename this column probably for another name, and then you click it to say AAA, something like that. And then you click it. Can you see now? So I want to delete some of the steps on the heading after changing the data type. Yes, you have there, probably you have chosen a wrong data type. So let me remove this step. Let me remove this step. Let me remove this duplicated step as well. So that's that. My data is also clean. So at any point in time you are done working or cleaning your data here, God's will, like number one, are you a lady? But then since you are asked, age range column is ABC. Is that correct? Okay, so when you have a mixture of text and numbers, it consider it as what? As a text. So how do you undo an error? You must just be joining this class. Come to your applied steps and you delete the step here. So that's that about this. So we have been able to clean this data to this point, and then now we can now close this. So let me take the remaining few time that we have left with this is our break to run the around this one. So when we come back from the break, we'll just pick one of the data that I shared with us. We will upload it. I will ask you guys to upload those data. You get those data, you bring them in, and then we'll do some practical illustrations with them. We'll do some practical step by step. Now, there's another thing I need to show us quickly here. Okay. Adding of column. Here, I think we have okay, transform. Here in transform, there are a few things you can also do here. You can dictate data type. You know, I was telling you about data type there. So those ones I showed you were shortcuts. You can come to your transform here, and then you can transpose. When you transpose a data, what you are saying is your row should come to your column and your column should come to your row. That is what transposing of data. You can reverse row as well. You can reverse row by saying that what is at the last row should come back to the upper part. You can also count your rows. All right. You can also do something like count of rows. Count of rows you have is how many? Is 5. Then you can what? Convert it to table. Then let's say delete. Delete. So we are back here. So if you need to convert it, you don't need to convert it. So that's why I had to delete the steps. All right. So once you do that, very quickly, just pay attention. So these are some of the things we will also still look at. But very quickly, look at something under view here. Anytime you import your data and you get your data to the transform state, the first thing you want to see is the data preview, the consistency of your data. The consistency of your data. You realize that when we first brought in this data, you discover there are some missing rows, data in some of the rows. Let me remove those blank rows so that you can see. Now, see it, I've returned it, right? Now, there's something I need to check to test to show you now. When you come to this, your data preview, can you see your data preview under your view menu now? Under your view menu, we'll soon go to break. We'll soon go for a break so that we can come back and continue. Under your view menu, the first thing, can you see column quality? Now, pay attention to these things because you might be asked. And if you would love to also, probably you have a very great passion for this and then you want to push further to the point of writing your professional exam, these are some of the exams questions that you will see, right? If you click on column quality, did you see what happens? Look at my column quality. It's telling me that I have 71% valid data. I have no error, but empty data that is in my data is 28%. So that means I have some values that are missing. And that is why yours does not have menu. How is that possible? Do you have file, home, transform, add column, views, tools, and that? Do you have all of that? Email with letters and numbers is treated as WhatsApp. Text, not ABC, is treated as text. Is treated as text. Anything that has any character apart from number, any mixed character is treated as text. Say, for instance, that age range as well. You see that age range, you have 18 hyphen whatever we have there, right? So that will also be treated as what? As text. Now, you see that what I have here is what? Is not valid, then percentage this thing. This is showing me the state. As an analyst, your data cleaning is not complete until you have your data, each of your column treated to be at least 100. Your own is at 100 because I removed 2 steps from my applied steps. I removed 2 steps from my applied steps. If you cannot hear anything, I think you should check your network. So Ellen J, check your steps. I have removed 2 steps. So that is your column what? Your column quality. So if you have checked your column quality, another thing you can do is your column distribution. Now, what does column distribution do for you? Your column distribution will help you to see the distinct values and then the unique characters. The distinct value that you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have 5 distinct values here and 3 unique character. 3 unique character in the sense that you have the first character you have is what? Is the names. The second unique character is the empty value, and the third one is the empty value. And that's why you have them as unique character. Do you understand? So and like that. So that is what column distribution. Column distribution will tell to you or will show you the unique character that existed in your document. If you are having 100%, I will show you what to do to have my own 100% as well. But just pay attention because I am explaining something. For those of you that you are saying you are having 100%, you missed a step that I did. I deleted 2 steps here and then I came here so that you can see some of this. Then column profile. What does column profile do? Column profile will work on each of your column to tell you the breakdown of your column. The breakdown of each column is done with column profile. And I think with this is a good time for us to go on break. When we come back on our 5 minutes break, we'll continue on this journey. I hope you guys are having a wonderful time. See you in the next few minutes. Thank you. All right. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. So let's continue from where we stopped. Now, let me say this. It's very, very important you know that the major part of all that you will be doing with your analysis is done here. So I need you to pay very close attention. Right? You need to pay very close attention to all of these things. Because by the time you start visualizing, you just see that all of those things are just minor things. If you don't understand the basics, the concept, the idea, what all those things from here, it will be challenging. All right. So please, okay, unique and distinct values. Okay. All right. So let's go back to the column distribution. Column distribution. So column distribution is talking about the number of distinct value. Now, what do we call distinct value? Distinct value is the how do I put it now? The occurrences of what you have on that column, the count of the occurrences. Say for instance now, if you have another favor recorded under this name, it will still have recorded it as 5 because even if the data is 6, right? Favor is repeated. So 5 distinct times only favor appeared, not 6, because it's not telling us the total number of count, but rather the total number of values that look very distinct. And this distinct is telling us real value, not empty, not null, but values that, as if you count this 1, 2, that's Favor, Nwoye, Kemisola, Linda, and Kemisola. Oh, right. So can you see the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? So he's saying it as, okay, sorry, I think I just saw that now. He's saying it as distinct count of each entity that appears in your value. Now, the unique one here, the unique value here is taking all of these names as 1, the empty cells as another 1. I don't know whether you understand that. So the distinct cell is, okay, I have the what's it called now, filled with spaces. That's 1. The places where there are nothing there is seeing it as also count. So that's the unique part. You see this place too, we have the same thing here and like that. So column distribution, column profiling has to do with each column. Column profile has to do with each column. Here you can see the number of counts, number of error, the number of empty, the number of distinct, the number of unique, empty string. Can you see too? The minimum and maximum, if to say you have a values there, if that is what you have there, you have that. So now, for those people that were saying that their own column quality is 100, so let me do what I will do to make my own column quality also 100 now. Let me just come back to my home, my rows, remove blank rows. Now that I've removed my blank rows, did you see that I also have 100 now? Did you see that I also have 100? So that is it. If you are having 100, it's because you have cleaned your data. So for you to remove this thing so that it doesn't stay on your data, just uncheck it and then it will leave your data alone. All right. So that's that about your column quality and column distribution. All right. So you saw this also earlier. Go to column. Which of the column did you want to see or did you want to work with? Go to the column. All right. So now, having done that, there are a few things we want to do, we want to look at, such that when you get a data, you know what you want to do. All right. When you get a data, you know what you want to do, so that you don't start looking for what to do or how to do it and all of that. So what do we need to do? I want us to pick one of our data or one of the data we have with us, and then we're going to be using it to do a major and a practical illustration. So let's go back to home, close and apply, and then you close and apply this data. You discover that all of our data, if you check to the left, okay, I think there's something I didn't tell us. Now, when when we were talking about your data source, you can actually get data from any source. I mentioned that, right? So you can actually, when you upload data like flat files, Excel, CSV, all those ones, they are independent of their source when they get to the what? To your model. What do I mean? What I mean is that, so what do I mean is that if you notice that here I am having some sheet one, some table two, and all of that, I can rename my table here. You know that from my data source where I uploaded it, it will still remain as sheet one. But here on my, what's it called now? On my model, I have changed it so it can be independent. So you can come here and do something like what? Rename table. Can you see that? So you can actually rename the table if you have to. I think it's important I mention that. Okay, if you also click on it, if you come to this place, you see what? Name. So here we'll work more with this place by the time we get to DAX functions. So let me not go into that now so that people don't start saying, hey, are we sure we're going to survive this? You will definitely survive it. It's very simple, actually. All right. So now everyone, I'm sure by now people should know how to get data. Get your columnar data from wherever you store your data. Come to get data is an Excel workbook, right? And then come to wherever you have your data, and then click on columnar data and click on open, and then bring it to a transform state. Do not upload yet. Yes, if you double click it, you also rename. Yes, it will do that. Now, under your columnar data, you see that it's just one sheet that is there, and it is what? Sheet one. So you will see that if you click on it, you see the data now. Can you see now? You see the data. So if you just check the box right in front of you, you can preview what the data looks like. So, and I told you, don't be in an hurry. Don't be in an hurry to load your data. Always take your data through the mechanic workshop to be sure that it is not having any problem. So let's take our data to what? Transform data. All right. Now, here we are. Can someone tell me at the comment section, what are the things we need to first do before we continue anything at all with this particular table? Yes, yes, yes. Preview, thank you. Your data preview. Okay. You transform, we have transformed already. Which of the data are we getting? Columnar data. You are getting your columnar data. Data quality, thank you. So by the time you remove the null values, okay, make use of view, okay. Clean the data, close and apply. Before you close and apply, what do you want to do? Check your data types. Thank you. Yes. Check your data types. So now, what did you notice from the data? Can anybody tell me what are those things you notice? What are those things that use first rows as header? Thank you. Wura. Okay, good. Okay. Transpose. Okay, I like that. Rename attribute. Okay. Data quality. There's one null, right? Is it just one? That's the first data, right? Data types and all of that. Okay, good. So that means everyone is actually following, and then you are getting it right. Now, if you notice, you will see that my column headings, some have name, some do not have, some just have column 1, city, column 3, column 4, Portland, column 6, column 7, Vancouver, and all of that. And if you check my column quality, come to view and come to column quality, you see that I have some empty cells while I have some what? How best can I clean this data to make sure it is very tidied? Now, if you observe this data, something is not also correct. I see that the first column I have here is having just column 1, and followed by it is null, and then followed by it is years. Immediately after it is city, then followed by it is bikes. Now, if you check here, you will see that bikes, accessories, and miscellaneous, bikes, accessories, and miscellaneous is coming in a kind of occurrence in an horizontal manner. Is coming in an occurrence. Please pay attention. Please pay attention. Is coming in a what? In an horizontal manner. Now, the first thing that has happened here, if you also notice, you see that Portland, City, and what? Vancouver, they are also the first heading, which probably is not supposed to be. So what is the first thing you need to do? Delete the what? The promoted header that you have there. First of all, remove it from promoted header. Let everything be what? We are not working on data sales, Auntie. We are not working on data sales. I hope you know. So we are working on columnar data in case you are with us in this class. All right. So now you delete all the columns, all the what you remove the step for the promoted header, such that so that you can see all your and everything is now BA now. So the next thing you want to do, I can't transform data after importing data and the preview. Why can't you transform? All these things are not possible. So it makes me wonder when I see them. It makes me wonder when I see them. Busola Olunuga, we are back from break. Probably you are watching from the end. So if you need to just speed up and click live so that you can see. Okay, I should slow down. Now, I am slowing down. Thank you, Tosin. You noticed that already. This data is dirty. That's why I had to get a very dirty data so that we can clean it. And then at the end of the day, we all see what we make out of this data. Dirty data to be cleaned. Let me come again. So now, where should I come again from? Should I delete the query and come from importing it? What I just did here is that I have only removed the promoted header. That's the only thing I did. And if I check my column quality, I see that my data is still not very clean. My data is still not very clean because how on earth can you explain that I have a city, this Seattle here is a city name. Bikes is looking more like a product, and this other things is looking more like what? Sales. And here I have accessories and I have prices. So here I have miscellaneous, I have bikes, I have country. This is another city name, that's Portland, and this is another city name, that's Vancouver. All right. So when you notice that, you discover that the data we have currently is messed up. And how do we do it? We want to maximize, do it in such a way that we will clean the data and then we can now have everything intact. And how do we do that? How best we want to do that is, how do I remove the header? Just come to your applied steps here. You will see promoted header on the applied steps. Where did I get the data from? Are you just joining this class? More D. Lillian. This data has been shared even before the last class. I have not splitted any columns. Sir, please, how did you import? You import by getting your data. When you come to get your data, that's how you import. And then you click the data name, which is columnar data. There's a data that has been shared. We have some data that has been shared with us. All right. Just remove the last two steps. Thank you, Wura, for telling me 30%. Just remove the last two steps and then you'll be where we are. Now, pay attention. Pay attention. So what we said is this. What we have is showing that this data is actually dirty, because how can we have the city name of a city alongside with product, alongside with what? With their prices or sales, let's call it that way, on the same column. So what we can do here, the very first thing you can do is to transpose your table. Is to what? Transpose your table. So how do you transpose? What do you mean by transposing your table? Is you want to make the column rows and you want to make the rows column. So you come back to your transform state, transform, you see transform here, and click on transpose. All right. So let me remove my column quality so that you can see everything carefully. Now, what did you notice now? What did you notice, guys? What did you notice? Can I go over it again from importing? How I wish I can, honestly, but because of time, how I wish I can. This is 8:30 already. Please, how I wish I can, but because of time. Please pay attention. Just pay attention. From importing, just get your data. Click on get data. See, this is all you just need to do. Come here, come to home, because my what's it called? My transform is up. That's why you cannot see the get data. So just come to get data, click on it, locate where your data is, and then bring the data and then transform the data. Then you will be somewhere we are right now. So I said that what did you guys notice that we have currently now? You sure this is clean? It's not clean yet. Look at column 1. What did you notice in column 1? We still have some null values in column 1, right? It rearranged the table. But one thing, if you notice one thing here, that all the countries are now in one side. So you have Seattle, you have Portland, and you have Vancouver. They are all in what? In one column. Then all the bytes, accessories, and miscellaneous bytes, they are also in one column. Winifred, this column Seattle of the table wasn't found. Details. Seattle, this is the error message I got when I deleted promoted header. Please assist. Did you delete the 2 steps? There are 2 steps you should have deleted. I hope if you are having that issue, just delete your query. Come here, right click on it, delete the query entirely, and then import it again. Make sure you delete the steps correctly, and then it should resolve. Yes. So Seattle, Portland, and Vancouver are now in the first column. But let's see also, you still realize that my data is not still clean enough. So I have 2020, 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009. So the year is in one side, at the horizontal side, where I have sales all around them. So that means there's still something I can do. What can we do? The next thing we want to do is this. At least first that we now have all these years, 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009 together. Let's promote our header now. So come back to your home and promote, use first row as header. Use your first row as header. All right? Are we together, guys? Why is it looking like this time is just running, like speeding? Seriously. Has anybody been able to promote their first header? And what you have in your first header now is what? What you have in your first header now is what? If you are there, let me see. What do you have in your first header now? Thank you. You guys are following. Okay, I still have one or two. Olalere, what exactly is the issue? Let's know where you are. Thank you. Yes, I like that. Yes is what we have. Okay. Please, if you miss any step, just try and pay attention. You might need to probably do a rewatch and then get all of this. Because if I should start responding to everybody's question one after the other, we will not do anything. I can assure us. Please, I am begging and I'm pleading. Please, I am pleading. So just try and bear with me so that we can actually cover a whole lot. We have a curriculum that we must cover in a week. And the way we are going, we have not even done what we are supposed to do in day one class alone. And this is almost the end of day two class. And the way it's going, if we are not careful, at the time when we are supposed to end, wherever we get to is where we will end. And if that is okay by us, so let's know that that is the way we will go by it. And then we will just know that that is the way how far we can go. How do you promote your elder? Okay, I think your elder, I can see talk on that. Come to your home menu. Under your home menu, just come towards the right. You see where I'm flipping my columns, right? My overing my, what's it called now? Under your transform, at the home menus, you see use first row as header. It's not okay by us, right? So that's why we had to do this. So Ayomide, I've said that, guys, we can actually rewatch. Thank you. That's that. We can actually rewatch. All right. So that's it, honestly, because that's the only way. As we speak right now, I don't want to bother us with so much. What you have or what we are supposed to cover in class one, that is the first week. We are still not done with it now, and then we are almost at the end of it. So let's continue. So look at it now. If now that we have the years, year 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, but this first column and second column, we are only having column one and column two there. So what can we do? Two things we can do here. By understanding, we can rename that column and rename that column as what? Seattle, Portland, and Vancouver is the name of what? Okay, thank you, Ola Ayomide. Seattle, Portland, and Vancouver is the name of what? Is the name of what? Country. Thank you. Can call it country or can call it cities. Thank you, cities. So let's just rename this. Just right click on it or double click on it as the case may be, and then you click rename. So let's put it as what? Cities or city, right? And then the second one, which is what? The bike, accessories, and miscellaneous. We can call them what? Country and product name. Thank you. Somebody, Mata Samaluko. Is it Mata or Mata? Either way, pardon me. So that is what? Product name. So let's call it product, right? Product, right? And then now we have renamed it. I remember somebody was saying the other time that we should check our data types, right? Check all your data types to be sure they are all correct, right? If your data types are correct, so what we now need to do is this. If you observe, you see that all this year, 2007, 2008, 2009, they are just the same thing. Is there a way we can arrange them such that we have them in just one single column? Is it possible for us to have the year, all the years in just one single column? It is possible. What can we do? That is what we want to do now. So, but pay attention just before we do that. If I check the column quality of this city now, come back to view, you see that I still have issues. Now, my valid data is just 33% and I have empty cells to be 67. This does not make any good report. This does not make any what? Any good report. All right. So what can we do? So look at it, pay careful attention here, guys, because some of these are approaches that you will not even be told But you will have to, as an analyst now, think around, break all those boundaries, and then come to actualize them. Does that make sense? So, for instance, now, all this, if you observe this city very well, you see that Seattle has the assessed bikes, accessories, and miscellaneous. Portland has bikes, accessories, and miscellaneous. Vancouver also have bikes, accessories, and miscellaneous, but they are all null. How can we fill all of this data to have them with those city name? All you just need to do is very simple. Come back to your transform state. Come back to your transform state. Yemi is already talking about unpivoting of columns. Amazing, but we'll soon get there. We are not there yet. Come back to your transform state and then see fill under your any column, under your table. See fill. Can you see the fill? Can you see it around here? Then fill down. If you say fill up, it fill up, but fill down. So what it does is that the first character is it fills it all the empty set, all the empty values till it encounters the next valid character, and then it fills the next also with those valid characters until it enters. So let's do fill down. Now, what did you see now? Did you see the magic that just happened now? How many people have their city filled already? How many people have their city filled already? I honestly would have loved to help when it comes to the screen maximizing, but then I have tried all my best and it seems not working. So I really don't know what else to do. Done. Thank you. You guys, please, in case you are having issue, just pay attention. Just pay attention. Now, can you check your column quality for the city and see what you have now? Your column quality for the city, what do you have now? Is now what? 100%. Do you now have 100%? So what you have done is that you have just successfully become a data cleaner as an analyst. You see that you have cleaned that data perfectly now. And then if you now check around, see product is also what, having 100. But here, if you look at the year, this is supposed to be year, right? But then what we are having is 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008. But we are supposed to have year there actually. So what can we do? What we can do is to unpivot all the columns that has the year. We can unpivot all the columns that have the years. And how do we do that? Please pay attention. Please pay attention. How can you unpivot? So if you need to unpivot a column, what unpivoting does is that it splits your rows, the first part, split it into column and put the values that are under each of the, for instance, now, if you unpivot this 2005, if you put this 2005 and put all these rows under it, 2006 will be a column, and then all the values under it will also be in another column. On pivot 2007, it will be under one column of the year again, and then all this value will also be in its front. So maybe you don't understand what that means like. Thank you, Mata. Class is so insightful tonight. Thank you. All right. So what we'll do is this. We want to unpivot this. So for you to be able to unpivot this, you can best do this by clicking on all the affected columns. And how can you click on multiple columns? You can click on multiple columns by doing these two things. Number one, you can just click on the first one and then press your control key and then keep moving one after the other. Keep moving one after the other. Did you see what I'm doing? Control key. Just your control key, right? But if you have quite a number of them, you can just click on the first one. You can just click on the first one, right? Then press your shift key. Press your shift key and then click the last one. It will highlight everything at once. Sir, is it possible to merge 3 columns into 1 row for the city column? To merge 3 rows, is it possible to merge 3 rows into 1 row? Why would you merge 3 rows into 1 row? Each of the row have their other value. If it is purely empty, that's what you do. But then it's not empty. So what will happen to the values or the data that are inside those? You cannot do that because there are data there. How can I undo? If you want to undo anything, go to your applied steps and then you'll be able to do undo. For whatever level you want to undo to the point where you want to undo, just keep removing the step and then you'll be able to undo. All right. Which other one? Change data type. Okay. Now I have done this. So what I'll do is come back to my transform. Again, come back to my transform. And under my transform at any column, since you are working with columns, anything you are doing with columns, you will see it under your any column. Click on Unpivot column. Unpivot column. If you click on Unpivot column, you will notice a magic just happened now. Can we merge rows in a column? So I will answer this question at a later part of this course. Okay, Juliet, I'm with you. When I did transpose, I can't find the first row, which is for city. Before you did, or before you do your transpose, did you remove the promoted header? If you did not, you will have to go and do it again and then remove the promoted header. You missed out because your city is still showing the years. I will rewatch, but this rewatching thing is data consuming. I wish these videos are downloadable. You can download the videos actually from the site if you choose to. Magic, right? Let me explain this again. Watch by midnight. Thank you. One4 just gave you an insight. Watch by midnight. Your data consumption by midnight is low. So watch by midnight. You have to pay sacrifice. You are learning new things here. So pay the sacrifice. Now, what we are saying here is this. We notice that the year can actually be in just one place. The year can actually be in one place and all the values can also be in one place. How can we do that? The best way we can do that is to unpivot the data. We can unpivot so that all the years will be in one side and all the values will be in another side. That is unpivoting. So, and that is what we have just done. And then now, if you look at your data now, how many columns do you have now? How many columns do you have? I like that. Power BI is interesting. I really like that. Ayomide is saying something serious there. He said, we really need to pay attention to details and do a lot of critical thinking. Exactly. So we now have 4. All right. Thank you. So we now have 4. Okay. So now that you have 4, everyone carry out your column quality and tell me what it looks like. Carry out your column quality and tell me what it looks like. Carry out your column quality and tell me what it looks like. Everything is now 100%. Shakirat, you must have made a particular mistake somewhere. Don't worry, that's the next thing we want to do. Samaluko, that's the next thing we want to do. All right, it looks like magic. So now what we can now do next is what? Let's look at our heading here. This heading we can now change it to what? We can rename it to what? Year. And then this can now be what? Value as it is. But can somebody also notice something there? What did you notice? I want to see somebody who has been following me carefully. What did you notice? How did I highlight all the years? Click on the first one, that's 2005, and then press Control and keep clicking on it one after the other. Alternatively, click on the first one, press Shift and go to the last one and click on it. It will highlight everything at once. Thank you, Ayomide. Oh, wow. Thank you, Ayomide Oladipupo, Ayomide Ashebebe. So you guys, so that means your data type. Did you see that now? This is what makes you an analyst. You see that if you have not done all of this, if you want to go and do all these visualizations, they are the least thing you think of. This is where the real work is. Don't worry, in this class, we're going to do a live project from start to finish using a particular data from start to finish. I hope we are able to because of time, right? But then we'll try. Adeyeba, just reach out on Telegram. Just reach out on Telegram. Okay? So now, what I need to do is what? I will change my data type here. And what will I put now? Whole number. Since it is in here. Did you notice what happened now? The whole thing shifted to the right because they are now numbers. I like that. Fortune said data cleaning is the difficult aspect of data analysis. Profound. So that is, at this point, we can now say we have been able to clean this particular data. Does this make sense? Let me know if what you have learned tonight makes sense. We're not done yet, right? So we still have a few more things to do, and then, of course, we can now continue from the next class. Now, all of this data, I am keeping all of this data because I don't want us to use them yet. But I mean, when I mean use them yet, like what's it called now? The visualization part now, yet. I don't want us to get to visualization part yet. That's why I'm keeping them. Okay. So now, there is something we can also do. There's something we can still do. Very interesting, right? Makes sense. The data type, change the data type to just change it to number. We understand that it is year. Year has its own data type, but just change it to number so that you can just understand the basis of what we are doing. Do you get? So this one that is having sheet 1, so we can rename this sheet. Rename this sheet as columnar data. Rename it as columnar data. All right. So now we are done with this. So let's do something again. Let's get back to. So since you are done now, what are you supposed to do now? Guys, what are you supposed to do now? What are we supposed to do now? Anybody, what are we supposed to do now? We are done with our treating of our data cleaning it. Mechanic is done, has given us all the update that the car is now working fine. What do we do now? Anybody? I can't see any response. Are people still with me on this call? Okay, since nobody's responding, so what you need to do is do close and apply. So just do close and apply, and then all your. So this is the way I wish I'm able to zoom my screen. Now, if you notice, this is a zoomed screen. For those people that are still saying that I should zoom my screen, so I can zoom this out again. Can you see now? So I have zoomed it in to the best, and then it's still not affecting. So please just bear with me if you are not able to see the screen the way you want to see it. Please just bear with me. Okay. So now we are done with that data. So we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have like 5 data anyway. You can have as many numbers as what you have. You can bring in data from as many sources. You have your SQL, right? You can also import data from SQL. You can also import data from your Google Sheet. We are going to do something. Let me see if I can quickly show us that. That will be visualization anyway. I hope I have what it takes. Maybe at the next class, not tonight. Maybe at the next class. Because I'll have to actually look for the link for where that is so that I can do that. So now, very quickly, let's do one more thing before we close tonight. Let's do one more thing. We have 2 of our data that look very similar here. That's liter class data. Let me preview the data view. The liter class data, and then is it sheet 1 now? No, not sheet 1. Table 2. Liter class data and liter table 2. Yes, liter class data and liter table 2. If you notice these 2 tables, they look alike. What can we do with them? We can actually merge them to make them just one data. I will start with appending of data tonight, and from next class we'll continue from there, how to append, how to do some order cleaning when it comes to those area of data cleaning, and then how we can maximize them. So now what we want to do here is this. We want to append. We have liter class data. From liter class data, we want to bring everything that is in what? Liter table 2 to liter class data. That is what? Appending. Now, I will not talk more about appending and merging today. What I will do is I will talk about more of them at the next class, but I will just practicalize them now so that it makes sense for you. So when you are appending data, what it means is that when you are appending your data, what it means is you want to join 2 tables together. Are you getting me? You want to join 2 tables together, and what you want the 2 tables to do is you want the 2 tables to continue from where the last one stops. Say for instance now, this table has how many data in it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It has about 8. So if you are appending data, what it means is that it will continue from 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, thereabout. So for you to append a data, your data must have the same schema or the same attribute as, the 2 tables now must have the same attributes. So if you observe, the first liter class data that we have has almost the same thing as what? As liter table 2, right? So if that is the case, so what it means is that we can actually merge the 2 tables together. On the other way, when you are merging tables, what you are saying is that you want to bring a particular value or table from another table to join a particular table. So usually people say for your appending, you add more data to the row, but for your merging, you add more data to the column. Take note of that. For your appending, you have more data, or you add more data to the rows, and for your merging, you add more data to the what? To the columns. So that is appending and merging. So very quickly, what we want to do is what? We want to append this data. And let's see how we can do that before our time is up. Okay? So let's go back to what? Let's go back to our transform data. Let's go back to our transform data. I told you anything you want to do with your data, you will be able to do it when you take your data back to your what? Mechanic workshop. So now you have your liter class data, and then we want to append the what? What's it called now? We want to append the liter table 2. We want to append the liter table 2. So the liter table 2 now, you come to liter class data and then come to your what? Look at under your combine here, you will see append queries, the merge queries. I have explained difference between append and merging of queries for you. So since your data has the same rows and the same number of columns, the two tables, so you can, what you do is append. Now when you want to append, you can append in two ways. You can append in as a new query, or you can append to continue the old query. What it means is this: if I append queries, I want to add more data to this current table I'm working with. But if I append as new queries, so that means I want to create a new query with my data. That's what it means. Do you understand? So that is what it means, that I want to append as queries, or I want to append query as new. So let me append query as new, and then let's see what happens. So now he's saying that two tables or three or more tables. So I only have two tables who have the same type of format, right? So I'll click the two table. Table 1 is what? Liter class table. Now the second table here I will pick is what? Liter table 2. All right. So once I pick liter table 2, I will now click on what? Okay. Now, if you notice, you will see that the two tables has been combined together. And now I have what? My name as append 1. You can just come here, rename this append, and then make it what? Liter combined table. Did you see that? Now I have done my what? Appending. Let me delete this step and then let me do it again, and then we'll close for tonight. Now, what I have is my what? My liter class data, and under my liter class data, I come here, I click append. I'm not appending as query, because if I append as query, it will join this same liter class data, but I want it to open a new query. So append query as new. Then it will ask me which one is the first data, which one is the first table, and which one is the second table. If I change this as the first table, it will arrange it the same way. So let's put this one as liter table 2, and then put the 2. If you have more than 2 tables, you can pick it here and say more than 2 tables, and then you can add it. Then you click on OK, and then the 2 tables are here together. Now you can check for your column quality and be sure everything is fine. Here you can just come, rename, and then have what? Liter combined data. And then we are able to do that. Perfect, right? All right. So on this note, we have come to the end of this class tonight, so that we can have some time to go over this class again. Tomorrow is another day, but please, I love that before tomorrow, you guys would have gone over and over and over. All right, you'll have gone over what we have taught, so that you can at least be on top. By tomorrow, we're going to be working with another data, maybe 1 or 2, depending on how fast we are. But then I've shared some of almost all of those. If there are new data, I will still share them with us along the line of this training. I hope you have enjoyed this training. I hope it made sense for you. If it does, I want to say Thank you for coming to the class today. It's been a wonderful time, right? I can't get to see responses on the comment section. I don't know why. But then, all right, thank you everyone for coming today. See you all tomorrow at the class section. Do have a wonderful evening or have a wonderful day.